So the title race are very much on. The one thing we do know, Chelsea are not part of that title race. Seeing as we've got Gary Cahill alongside us tonight on Match of the Day too. Gary, I have to ask you, what is happening at your former club? What do you make of it?
I think at the minute it's a lack of confidence, but also change. There's been so much change. I spoke about it before. Ownership, manager, players, staff. And when there is so much change in a football club, it's very difficult for everything to be up and running straight away. I think it needs time. But obviously, the club being Chelsea, the demands, whether you get the time or not, who knows. But obviously, clearly with the owners, they've put in a structure. They're trying to put something in place. The manager's a big part of that, or they wouldn't have gone and got him. So I think it's going to take time and the rest of this season for him to really figure out where they go.
Well, we'll come on to time in just a moment, Glenn. But Graham Potter has told us tonight there was lots of huff and puff. If I'm a Chelsea fan in that away end and my club has spent that amount of money, you want more than huff and puff, don't you?
Yeah, listen, I think when you look at the performance, it was a disappointing performance. They were a little bit passive at times. They probably didn't move the ball as quickly as what they would have liked. But that's credit to Spurs. Spurs' game plan worked very effectively. Spurs are really difficult to break down at the best of times. And when you're working with a new squad, working out those partnerships, they don't quite know each other, the players. They don't know their strengths, their weaknesses. And like Gary says, that's going to take time to come.
Yeah. Will he have the time, do you think, Glenn?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I think he'll have this season and into next season, and then you can. I think then you can judge him on that. I mean, like Gary says, there's been such a huge turnaround at the football club. It will take time, and he'll have the summer to do it. He'll have time to be able to put a proper pre-season, a pre-season that he believes is right for this group of players. And then I think we'll see a very different Chelsea come the start of next season.
You know Graham very well from his time at Brighton. How do you think he's dealing with it?
I think he's dealing with it really well. There's obviously a lot of noise and a lot of onus on Chelsea Football Club at the moment, and I think he'll be the first to admit that the results aren't good enough at the moment, but he's building something, and I think when he comes in front of the press, he's acting respectfully. He's not throwing his toys out of the pram, and for me, he's doing a good job, but it's going to take time.
You had so many big characters in your Chelsea dressing room, leaders on the pitch. Yep. Is that what Chelsea are lacking?
I think they're going to need a thick skin at this moment in time. There's a whole lot of pressure from the fans and obviously around the media-wise on results. But yeah, I think in terms of leadership, this is what we're talking about. He's just coming to the job. He's finding out his players' abilities and he's finding out his players' personalities. And I'm a big believer in thinking that ability takes you so far and personality also takes you that extra yard. And I think he's still learning his squad. He's still probably learning who fits into his style. And his tactics and the way that he wants to do things, and I think he should have this season to figure that out. Come the summer, make the changes that he feels he probably needs to make, and then, like I said, like I agree with you, Glenn, I think judge him next season on the start of the season.
You both know the Premier League inside out, Glenn. How long did Chelsea allow Graham Potter to try and get those players to gel?
Well, I think that they're gelling right now. They're gelling as we speak, but the other caveat to that is they've got so many players, they need to get rid of some. So I expect another huge summer from Chelsea, but probably more outgoings than incomings this season.
Is that what you think, Gary?
Yeah, I think so. I think I felt sorry for him a few months ago, actually, when they had so many injuries, and now it's almost flipped the other way around, and he's got players now he's having to leave out. The squad is healthy and big. So yeah, I think there will be outgoings, and like I said, I think he'll reshuffle his pack how he wants for the summer. But again, we're making no excuses for these as well. By the way, when you're a player and you're on the pitch, it's down to you to go out and perform. And I think you do need leaders, and you do need people in the dressing room that are going to drive the standards in training and also drive them out there with the intensity levels.
I mean, it must be so frustrating for Chelsea fans when you consider, as Gary quite rightly says, the amount of talent on that pitch today.
Yeah, there's a huge amount of talent, and it's an exciting thing moving forward, but they do lack goals in that team, that clinical number 9. I mean, will we see Lukaku back? Who knows? Will they dip back into the market for that number 9? But I just feel as though that is probably the missing piece of the jigsaw for Chelsea, because it is an exciting young squad that I expect big things from in the future.
Just 23 goals in 24 Premier League games. Erling Haaland has got more goals for Manchester City than Chelsea. Why aren't they so blunt up top?
Yeah, it's clearly where they're obviously struggling this season. They seem to have a number of number 10s, if that makes sense, and not an out-and-out number 9 who, like we said today, somebody who might stretch in behind a little bit more than coming to feet and trying to get in them pockets, because today it wasn't the time to get in the pockets. There was no room. So sometimes, again, as a defender, strikers pulling off your shoulder every 2 minutes is not nice.
Yeah, no, I agree. And you know what, even towards the end of the game, being able to put the ball in the box and have somebody big and physical to work off, whether it's a knockdown, whether it's a strike on goal, but just maybe having that different dimension to their play.
And you can see the frustration as well. We saw João Felix, who wanted the ball. He wanted to be played through during the game, and he was putting his arms in the air as if to say, I need the ball played to feet, thread me in.
Yeah, I think he's somebody who they need to get on the ball, and every time I see him and he does get in them pockets in the space, he looks like a lot of the good attacking play comes through him. So I think he'll be very important for Chelsea moving forward.